All right. So now we're talking about the house money effect. This one is a new addition to the course. I only remembered this concept the other day when I was filming another video, which was talking about basically why Ethereum has historically been where the money was to be made in the ecosystem, and why Solana hasn't been really where the money has been to be made in the ecosystem. And I actually covered this I did a voice message on this in my free Telegram community. If you guys want to join it, it's really good. This is the website. I don't want to flick across to my Telegram. I just can't be bothered, but I don't want to show any chats. But if you join here, this was filmed on the 10th of December. If you go back to then, I filmed probably the best voice message that I've done so far. And there was a ton of alpha on what I expect going forward in the market. But it all related back to this concept of the house money effect. And I figured this would be a really good addition to the course because, again, it's a big problem most people have at the end of the bull run. They gamble all their money away. So if you do the bull run right, using the stuff that I talk about in this video, in this course, then you're going to have a wallet that looks sort of like this, right? Obviously, you're not going to have 69 million. You're going to have a lot of money, and it's going to feel like looking at this, right? It's going to feel like you have 69 million based off of just, holy fuck, look at the number that I see on my wallet. You're going to have MetaMask or whatever it is, and you're going to see all this money, right? Oh my God, I'm finally rich. I'm not a peasant anymore. You're going to see that, okay? And this is going to fuck with your brain in ways that you do not yet or are able to comprehend. So let's talk about why this is going to fuck with you. So it's all about this concept of the house money effect. So 95% of investors make insane gains during the bull run, but they all pretty much lose it all. Most of them lose it all. 95% of them make big money and they lose it. And only 5% or less actually keep the big profits that they made. So why is this? Well, it's a number of things, but a big component of this is the house money effect. So profits are much easier to gamble with than initial money, because if you lose profit, you didn't actually lose anything, right? If you're in the casino, right, you put $100 in, you turn it into $1,000. Your perception around this money is, oh my God, I have $900 that I can spend and lose, because we don't like losing money. But if we quickly made money, then we're never really losing it because we still have the initial amount of money that we put in. And that mentality, every human has it, and it's called the house money effect. And here's an actual definition of it. The house money effect is a theory used to explain the tendency of investors to take on greater risk when reinvesting profits earned through investing than they would investing their savings or wages. Because when you think about it, right, when you put $1,000 into the casino, where did that money come from? Well, you had your trash, shitty-ass 9-to-5 job that you hate because you're a little slave, or you've got money that you saved up, all these little pennies from all the slave work that you did. So the work required to get that money together was significant. You had to be a slave, right? You had to get whipped on your ass, turn up 9 a.m., do shit you don't want to do, listen to a boss that shits on you, gives you all this work, and they pay you fucking scraps. So when you put that money in, it's like, wow, if I lose this, oh my God, this took me a lot to make. But when you go into the casino and you put $1,000 in and you sit there with a martini next to your girl and you basically press a button and now you've got $9,000 extra dollars, it fucks with your perception of money, because the $1,000 you put in took a lot to make, but the $9,000 you made took nothing. And money that was easy to make, that was fast to make, that didn't require effort or skill, is quickly handed back to who it belongs to, because you cannot appreciate that money and understand it for what it's worth, because you didn't really do anything to make it. And this happens in crypto, right? The casino metaphor is very much like crypto. People, at the end of the bull run, make all this money, and then they go and gamble it on fucking shitcoins, right? Let's look at Doge and stuff. Whoa, did you see that dog appear on the screen? I've never seen that before. Why the fuck is there a dog there? But look, everyone ends up making all this money during the bull run on Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever, the coins go up. And then they've got all this profit and they end up just gambling it away because of the house money effect. They didn't really do anything to make the money. They just bought Bitcoin at 5K, rode it up to 50K, Didn't really do anything. So then they go and all have fun in the shitcoin casino. And this is why altcoins tend to rally, altcoins tend to rally after Bitcoin, because after Bitcoin's gone up, it's this huge wealth effect, right? Like house money effect. Like Bitcoin is the biggest asset. So when it goes up 2x, that's more important than a shitcoin going up 2x, because the market cap growth is humongous. It's bigger than any individual coin goes up. So let's say Bitcoin goes from a $400 to an $800 billion market cap. That's $400 billion in wealth that represents the house money effect. Altcoins start rallying. All these people who hold Bitcoin want to continue to grow their money because they didn't really do anything and they've made fast, quick, easy money. They put it in the shitcoins and they end up losing it all. So that's what you want to avoid here with the house money effect, because this is what you guys look like at the top of the bull run. I hit the jackpot. Look at me. Woo! And this is you at the bottom of the bear market, still holding the same sign, except now you've flipped it around and you've said, I used to be your neighbor. I used to have a big villa and I lost it all because I'm a retard, right? This is what happens. And when I say you guys, I don't mean any particular person watching. I just mean like people in general. So they make all this money, house money effect. They no longer appreciate or value the money for what it's worth. They lose it all. Fast money made easily is always lost fast and easily. And yeah, why does this happen? Well, the reason most people make riches and lose them is they lose perspective of how much money they actually have. So dudes will have $1 million, which is like 20 years of their salary, right? 20 years of being a slave, and they gamble it away without any problem. They'll lose $1 million and they might not even feel it, because it's house money effect. They made $1 million doing nothing. So it's like, oh, I didn't do anything. So if I lose it, I don't really lose anything, right? Like, people don't necessarily hate the feeling of losing money. They hate the feeling of losing the time and effort that went into making the money. So if you lose $1 million and you had to work 50 years to make it, that's 50 years of effort disappeared, like gone, poof, down the drain, 50 years of your life, right? Because you spend 8 hours, you spend like 30% of your awake hours working. So it's like 30% of your life gone. That's why people, when they have their mortgage and they retire and they got like 2 mil in a house, they're so risk averse. Even though they're technically multi-millionaires, it's because it took them an entire lifetime to make that money. But when you make $1 million in crypto doing literally nothing, it was so easy to make that money that there was no time requirement to make it. So if you lose $1 million, yeah, you lose $1 million, but you don't lose any time. It didn't take long. So your brain goes, oh, well, I can just do what I did again and make another $1 million because it only took me 10 hours, right? That's the wrong way to look at it, and we're going to get into how to fix that mindset later on. But people lose sense of money's true worth. They made the money quick, easily, and without work. But when you make things quick, easy, without work, you tend to lose it quickly, easily, and without doing anything. This is why fast cash is a bad idea. This is why trying to get rich only from crypto is a bad idea, because most people didn't actually really do anything to make the money. And if it didn't require skill, effort, or time, you tend to just fucking waste it away because you didn't do anything. So how do you avoid this house money effect problem and keep the profits so that you don't end up like this dude here? So what you should do is, with your portfolio, when you make all this money in the bull run and you got $69,669,669 in your bank account, you should calculate the amount of man hours that you would actually need to work to get a portfolio number of that size. So if you have $1 million and your hourly rate is $20 an hour, which probably most of you guys, it's probably around that, $20, $30, $40, then you have to calculate out how many hours you would have to work divided by, let's say 30. That's 33,000 hours. So how many hours? 33,000 divided by 365. 91 hours. Wow. Okay. So that's like, I don't know. That's like 5-10 years of work just to make the $1 million, right? And that's what you guys are aiming for. You're aiming to make your first $1 million. If you get to $1 million and you make 30 an hour, it would take you like 5 to 10 years of work at your current hourly rate in order for you to even get to that amount of money that you've just made in crypto. So if you calculate out the man hours required, it's going to help you, or woman hours, equality, woman hours or man hours, then, you can see that, holy fuck, this is actually a lot of money. And this post here is really good. It sort of covers this point. So